Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the GMTC Tokecast. As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Cinder Blaze.
And Makotoa.
Boys, welcome back from just a while ago. We just got done watching Heisei Generation's final live, and we're doing this review live, because we just sort of felt like it. And if you're watching this, you're either watching the live stream archive or you're just watching the review individually. So whatever the hell happens, we're going to review the movie. It wasn't good. We're just going to jump right in. It's not good. It's not a good movie.
Gosh, Pac-Man was better. Pac-Man.
Oh yeah, far better. No.
So much better.
And I must stress, Koichi Sakamoto is the best that they have. Their trump card, and they didn't use him for this, and I don't know why. They needed this to go out on a bang, and it went out with a soft fart.
Yeah, and honestly,
it didn't even have the impact of like a
strong
fart. It was just it just passed in the night. You'll forget about it in like a day. You know?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, there was... The plot was nothing. All of the returning character introductions and even just them being there, it all just felt like meaningless fan wank. I liked it. I mean, like, I liked it like I like too much candy, you know?
Yeah, but...
It's always nice to see your favorite, characters return. It is. But
it is.
They didn't have a real reason to be there. It was just to serve a purpose, and that purpose was to put them on the camera and do some fancy things.
Yeah,
but like in the previous film with Gaim and like to a lesser extent like Wizard and who else popped up out of nowhere. Actually, like Drive did kind of participate. But I think for Gaim especially.
Man, I absolutely love Drive in that movie.
Yeah, like for Gaim in the previous movie, he wasn't even like out of his suit.
His actor wasn't even there.
Yeah, he just kind of like showed up and just like fought some fodder and just left.
Yeah,
it was
like
still a much better movie.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, like, by far.
Way better paced, way better directed. This fails on a lot of fronts. No compelling villain, and it's like we took a step back. Build has been so good, and we have been so spoiled.
We have,
and this feels like
this is like the worst episode of Build.
Yeah, no. What this feels like?
The worst episode of Build.
It feels like we have the writers for Kamen Rider Amazons working on an episode of like they just decided, oh yeah, you guys handle the finale, because like if you guys haven't been watching our Amazon's review, we are slowly descending into madness, Alex and I, because it is just some of the absolute worst stuff. And what happens is they have this 45 to 30 minute quota they need to meet each episode, and they easily stretch this 15-minute episode all the way.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what's going on here. We get those awkward pauses.
I shall let you can...
Oh, no, that was it.
Okay, the next time don't interrupt me. Okay. Fuck, I lost my point. Michael,
cool.
Continue.
Yes, actually, I was going to say, I think one of the parts that I think it bothered you guys, I definitely remember you mentioning it, but like I think that really just goes to show that this director really didn't know what he was doing. The fact that we spent so much time just screwing around randomly fighting fodder with certain characters in their groups, like Emu and Banjo, and then Halad and so all
and like who gave him the drone?
Like all that time waste. Yeah, okay, yeah, blah blah blah. All of that time wasted, and then we get to the scenes at the end where it's like the money shots for every character, and we get to see their forms and stuff, and then randomly we cut back to them, and they're in their ultimate forms, but we didn't even see them get there.
Yeah, like
we couldn't just like skip some of that other crap at the beginning and then like actually have time to show them transform. No, it was an off-screen transformation. What kind of crap? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done. We're good.
Okay.
No, actually, we're not good. You know what? One thing, I actually enjoyed the Stinger, the movie, 10 times more than I enjoyed this.
Again, that's a Koichi Sakamoto thing. I mean, he.
I don't know. Okay, so I can't really consider this a movie. Like, this is, as you said, it's just a bunch of like scenes that might be good individually.
Yeah.
But like everything that kind of connected them, the quote plot didn't exist. I don't even know why this villain was doing what he was doing. It barely made sense in the context of the universe. Like they somewhat like managed to fit it in so it would make sense.
He tried to jerry-rig it into Build's backstory.
They closed the gap with their hands.
Yeah, but like if you kind of like at the end of this movie, you can just take this movie out of that whole continuity and it would just make perfect sense, you know?
Yeah.
Like all that stuff was like unnecessary. It doesn't enhance the universe in any way. Banjo's development, like where he's just like sitting there looking at all the main characters, and he's like, "Oh, this is what Kamen is." Oh, I didn't know. It's like, you just learned it in one episode in Build. Like I remember, like, having this stuff
they didn't need this. Like they taught. Like that's why I feel like the Amazon Amazon's writers took care of this, because like they spell everything out for you explicitly.
Oh, okay, that reminds me of one scene.
Yeah,
when Sentos and Misora and Sawa are talking about like how the worlds are coming together, and then just like, what happened if they get too close? And then the hourglass breaks.
Oh God! Oh! Oh! What was?
So, I thought that he was trying to destroy the worlds because he was making them come together, but then apparently no, he wanted to control the worlds.
No, he wanted to be immortal at 2 p.m. What?
No, I think it was 3 p.m.
Oh, by the way, everyone in the comments or in the chat, if you want to participate, go for it. We'll shout you out in this episode. Anyway, continue.
I don't know. There's nothing left to continue.
This is a horrible
like
movie.
Him becoming immortal at exactly 2 p.m.
I think they stopped it at 2 p.m. so he wouldn't become immortal at like 3 or something like that. That was that's the twist. That's why you're not immortal. I think probably one of the best character moments obviously was the stuff with the coins, the coin dude.
O's.
Yeah, like I don't even know who these characters are, and I actually enjoyed those
surface level. It certainly looked good, and honestly it had the trappings of something good, but what I took away from it was basically nothing. What I was promised was the like we get to close the gap between Ankh dying and how we know that Ankh will be brought back to life in the future, which we learned through the first, not the first, but like Kamen Rider O's and Forza Movie Wars Megamax, the one that used to be like the best Kamen Rider movie. We learned that Ankh comes back, so we were supposed to bridge that gap in this movie. We were told Ankh comes back to life, and it's just it didn't. It was like a fart in the wind. It just sort of happened.
Yeah, and if you kind of ignore what happened at like the very end of the movie, where he kind of just like goes back and dies, the way like the villain, the quote villain, more like I can't even call him a plot device because there was no plot. He was just the thing that they had to deal with. He's just all like, Oh, look what I got!
The fodder for the ultimate attack at the end.
I will say
What?
the CG has been the best it's been ever.
Yeah.
Like
No, because
again with
spent
Mega
budget on
Max.
X8. Like what? It's like just having the standard X8 Muteki fight scenes would have done the same exact thing. Just wasted money on the CG. I feel.
Where else are they gonna put that money? Like,
And to better writers. Like
you know what? Keep talking. I want to figure out who wrote this. Whose responsibility is this?
oh,
yeah,
who
like-
deserves to be crucified for this?
I remember like at the very beginning of our watch along, Corey kind of mentioned like, wait, why is the cold open like so long? You know, like
Yeah.
And then I was kind of just thinking like, what was that a cold open? It just felt like it was the movie, and then they kind of had to stop at a certain point and tell us that it was the movie, and then they just continued on.
There were so many points where he decided to incorporate slow motion. Egregiously.
Yeah, why?
Egregious slow motion everywhere.
Yo, when Emu started expositioning like they do in Kamen Rider Amazons, I knew something was up.
Yeah.
And that one scene where was it Build and X8 were kind of like talking over, and like Pallid was apparently just using his magic conch bottle to communicate with Emu. And like, there was like that one awkward ass pause, and it's a dialogue, and I was just like, "What?" And of course, like, you can say your lines or something. It's like apparently not. They have to reach the 90-minute threshold, I guess.
Yeah.
And judging by it, I feel like that might have been a contributing factor to how stretched out and just bland the movie was. You know?
Okay, so I'm looking it up. The guy that directed it, he's done mostly spin-offs and like one-off episodes. So he's not really doing much here. We've got the head writer for Build. He was credited as a writer, and I feel like that's mostly the Build elements. And then we have Yuya Takahashi, who directed who wrote every episode of X8. And then Kamen Rider Amazons: The Last Judgment. So he worked on Amazons, but just the movie is gonna come out? Yeah. Like honestly, he did well on the other movie, Heisei Generations regular, just Heisei Generations vanilla, but he didn't do well here. Like last time it was a good mix between the writers, but this time it's just not good. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, there was no cohesion to the entire thing. It was more like, you guys have 2 hours to just make up a movie because we have to order all the sets and do all that other shit. And they're just like, oh my god. You know, like, this does not seem like a polished movie whatsoever.
I'm wondering, like, the head writer for Build, right? Maybe he sort of fell flat on this because this isn't what he was built for. It was probably in his contract to do it, but I don't know that he knows how to write for this. He doesn't write like a legacy season. He writes his season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, as you were kind of saying with, like, for the director's side, Koichi Sakamoto, how he knows how to portray all the previous Kamen Riders, just so, like, we see them in, like, their best light. And I will give credit in this movie, when we did see, like, Forze, when we did see Gaim and O's, I liked when they kind of, like, first kind of popped up and helped them. And that kind of did help, like, the beaten-in message from the movie about, like, how Kamen Riders are there to like help people and stuff like that. Like, I got that feeling from every single one of them when they just came out of nowhere. So I'm kind of glad for that. At least there was some good in the movie, but like that's the thing. Like it had like a lot of positive stuff going in, but none of it was like solid. It wasn't a movie.
Yeah. It was the X8 build kind of crossover with just some of the Forza Gaim and Wizard or O's scenes just shoved on in there.
Yeah, and despite how much I like bash on X8 and stuff, when we did actually get X8 scenes, they weren't awful at all. I know you hate Dan with the passion, but I feel like I feel like his character type is very amusing for kids and stuff. So I'm totally fine with whatever the hell he's doing. And honestly, it's entertaining to me. Like when he kind of fully embraces this.
Yeah, those moments were entertaining. I couldn't especially compared to a lot of the other moments in this.
I don't know. I can feel he is oozing. He is oozing like sellout to me. Like, oh hey, the internet goes wild if you do this.
Are you really gonna knock somebody selling out?
I mean, I already hated Dan. It's just give me more reasons. It was so blatant. I can respect the hustle, but this guy's just milking it. I don't know.
I feel like there's like an in-universe kind of explanation because considering like the way like Dan has been treated by like everyone in that entire cast, like the cast of X8 is filled with fucked up people, and like Poppy's like the only one who's kind of like somewhat reasonable, but even then she kind of like threatens to put him in prison every time he kind of steps out of line. So I think that's like slowly been wearing down his mental like state, and he's just become like more and more insane as the series has kind of progressed. And this happened like after everything. This is probably like the most insane he's gotten. So I'm fine with him just being a mad scientist, so to speak. God, it was a thing.
Yeah.
One thing I did not like from X8 though, even though I said I didn't want to bash on it, I hated Palad's role in this movie. It was...
Yeah, what did he do? He did nothing.
He shook the bottle in his ear.
Yeah, he was just a plot... Can't say a plot device, but he was there to kind of facilitate the communication between the
way to work around that.
Use a telephone.
Yeah, and
an emo telephone. He was depressed the whole time.
An emu telephone. An emu telephone.
Yeah, and honestly, why couldn't they just like further develop like not the bond between Build and Palette, because I don't really expect anything fruitful to come from that, but like maybe like stick another writer in there a little bit earlier so they have some chemistry going and can bounce around.
I mean, I'd honestly like to see pair Build with anyone else. Anyone else that's relevant.
Oh yeah, because like one thing that really works in Build is because like is that like all the characters kind of are realistic in their own kind of way. Yeah. Even Scragglebeard, he's probably like the most kind of fictitious character of the series. I mean, there's still like Stark, but he's fine. He doesn't really count for those types of characters. And I don't think Build or Sento has like chemistry with Palette. It doesn't work. He's just a different type of character.
Yeah.
Which works a little bit more in X8, honestly. But in here, just like, what is he gonna do? Like, Banjo was just like killing it over on the other side because he just kind of works off of anything. Like all the insane stuff that's kind of like going around. He's like the straight man. That just kind of like,
I don't know. He was in bed with Build at the end.
Yo, everyone was in that bed. It was just popping in there.
Okay, so I know we could hate on this for a while, and I feel bad because like everyone in the chat was super hyped up for this movie. I don't know how they felt coming out of it. I hope we're not farting on this.
I saw somebody say that was the worst.
That was the worst. Where?
Star.
Oh yes, that was the worst. Okay, I see it. But I do want us to sort of end this on like, what was your favorite part? Or some of your favorite moments? Because I have to
keep it at one because I can't think.
No, I can think of quite a few.
That's easy. When they all said their catch.
Yeah!
That's the one.
That's it. Yeah, that's the highlight for me. I guess we're done with that segment. Guys, if you... tell us in the comments down below or in the chat. Guys, where'd you go? If you I don't know, like this movie, what you thought about this movie. Are we wrong? Are we the buttholes? And yeah, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Don't forget, or at least I've started doing, hopefully maybe weekly Let's Plays of some Power Rangers Legacy Wars. So if you want to tune into that, or the first episode, I think I'll provide it at the end. And for all of you guys in the chat who aren't here anymore, we're gonna take off now. So, guys, thanks for watching. Keep it juicy.
See ya.
Later.
Ah, yes, you did do the thingy endy thing.
Finish it.
Yes, you finished the sentence. Good job. Oh yeah, Rogue was in this movie. Like barely.
No.
That was good.
Whatever his name